Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Afrina Apriliani. I'm from Math Education 2019. I will try to dub some video of motivational speech. The topic of this speech is about mathematics. The title is Math Isn't Hard, It's a Language by Mr. Randy Pelisok. The original video is belong to the EDX Talks YouTube channel. Anyway, I'm still learning here, so forgive me if my pronunciation is kind of weird. Without spending any way more time, let's check it out! On the nation report part that the percentage below for 12th grader for the subfraction in math. In America, we had everything as an exceptional country, but the 26% sound exceptional to you? Raise your hand if you think as the country we need to do way better than that. I'm with you. We all need math for why are so many kids confused by? It is because only 26% of people are hardwired from that, love 70% or not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you this is the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it at the humanized subject. But if we make math human again, it will start make sense again. You're probably wondering, how is math in every human in the first place? So think about it. Math is a human language just like English, Spanish, and Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient time, people need the language of math to conduct trade, to build of monument, and to measure the land for farming. This idea of math the language isn't exactly new. A great philosopher once said, "The laws of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agreed, isn't it? But somewhere along the line, we are taking the language of math with both the real world around us, and we abstract that beyond this recognition, and that's why they get confused. Let me show you what it's meant. We will see this third grade Californian math standard, and people make sense when 8 years old. Understand the fraction 1 of b as the quantity formed by one part when a whole is partitioned into b equal parts. Understand a fraction a over b as the quantity formed by a part of size 1 over b. And if you give this description to an 8-year, you probably get reaction like this. To a math expert, this standard makes sense. But to a kid, it's an absolute torture. I tell this example specifically because the fractions are the foundational to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So kids don't understand fraction in the elementary middle school because it had helpful way to ahead them in the high school. But there's a way to make subtractions simple and easy for kids to understand. Yes, just remember that math is language and use that the first damage. For example, when I teach first grade how to add the subtraction, I start with the apple plus lesson. First say yes, 1 apple plus 1 apple, and people often say 2 with the partly correct. Half them include the word as well as with the math of the language. But not just 2, it's 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 2 pencils. You all know that pencils plus pencils is pencils. So everyone, how many pencils?
5 pencils.
5 pencils is right. And the key is you include the word. I try to submit with my 5 years in month. After she's added pencil and pencils, I asked her, what 4 billion plus 1 billion? My aunt overheard in the distance. She scolded and said, "Are you crazy? She's been in kindergarten. How she's supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? I'm done it. My niece Vanessa counting looks up and says, 5 billion? And I said, that's right, it is 5 billion. My aunt stood ahead on that because she didn't expect that from the 5-year. But all you have to do is take a language approach and math become into it is and easy to understand. Then I asked her a question that kindergartner definitely not supposed to know. Plus 1/3 plus 1/3. And she immediately answered 2/3. Such as you are wondering, how can she possibly know that when she doesn't know about the numerator and denominator yet? You see, she wasn't thinking about numerator and denominator. She solved the problem this way. And she used 1 apple plus 1 apple as her analogy to understand 1/3 plus 1/3. So even a kindergartner can add subtraction, you'd better believe that every third grader can do it as well. Just for fun, I asked her an algebraic question. What's 7x squared plus 2x squared? And then the 5-year correctly answered 9x squared. And she did it in any exponent rules to figure that it out. So when the people say that we are either wired or not, it's not true. Math is a human language, so we have all the ability to understand this. We need to take language approach to math urgently, because too many kids are lost and they are unseen about math, and it doesn't have to be that way. I work with an angry, frustrated high school student, one who couldn't pass the algebra because she only knew 44% of the multiplication task. I've told her that's such a kind of weird, only knowing 44% of the alphabet, holding me back. She couldn't pass her or public relations, and she had no confidence in that. As the result, this teenager had confidence in herself. I've told her we have to start with the multiplication, because once you know all of you have with your part, everything gets easier, and they will be having a fastpack every happy ride in Disneyland. What do you think? And she said, okay. But she systematically learned the timetable in 4 weeks. And yes, even a multiplication has the language in it better than that. You'll be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out as 7 times 3. Which just means 3 7 times. Just like that. So when kids see this way, they quickly realize that the repetition is slow and inconvenience. So they glad to memorize that 3 7 times. Although with the 21. The further teenager would alter to dropping out, becoming fluent and confident in multiplication with the game changer. Because for the first time, we can focus on the problem solving instead of counting on finger. I knew she's at the corner when she's figured out that 2 years currently at $145 a month would cost you $10,680. And she's looking at me disapprovingly. It's a polysock. That expensive. At that moment, not having one the causing problem for her. But she looks giving a math solved problem as the reason to adult. As an educator, it's my duty to challenge kids to be tirelessly with the challenge. Our country stuck at 26% subtraction, and I challenge you to pass the number higher. This is important, because mathematical thinking not built young mind, but our kids needed to imagine and develop their future. Meeting the challenge can be simple as apple plus apple. Insist that we teach math the human language, and we will get there sooner rather than later. Thank you. What is the result of changing the sound? If you think this video is good, don't forget to like it, and so that you can see other videos. Don't forget to subscribe. See you later. Wassalamualaikum.